Hi. Man, that was a disaster. I mean, I'm impressed by how bad things went. I apologize for being late, and I'm very late. I have an explanation, and let's go through it. Every morning, I come downstairs, I turn on the computer, I turn on another computer, I go and I get a soda and 2 caramels. Then I come back to my desk and I start preparing for the show. First thing I do is pick up all of the notes for the show, and then I go to the various websites and things like that that I've got picked out, and then I turn on my computer. Then I turn on my streaming software. Well, I got that far, and then I had no camera feed. It's very hard to do a live stream without a camera feed. Like, probably one of the hardest things to do is to do a live stream without a camera. In fact, I don't know how you would do it. While this was going on, I was getting phone calls and texts from everybody. I have someone wants to ask me about listing their house, but I have to show another house at that time, so then I had to move that. It's just like, I mean, that's my bread and butter, right? That's my business. I have to do that. So I answered those questions, but at 9:55, I got no camera. Went around and checked the connection, see if it was okay. The connection's fine. Camera's on. Got to restart the computer. Restarting the computer. My computer's, I wouldn't say it's old now, but man, at one time it was a great computer. And so, so I'm like, okay, well, I have to restart the computer. And I still had time. So I restarted the computer. Well, it got hung up on the restart. So it's just the blue screen with the little restart going. And I'm like, this isn't good. Now, I could have tweeted like, hey, I'm going to be late. And I guess next time I'll do that. But it didn't occur to me at the time because I was assuming that once I restarted the computer, plugged everything in, everything would be good to go. When I turned the computer back on, I did have the camera feed. And so at 9:05, I went to start the live stream, press the button to do the live stream, and the chat wouldn't come up and it didn't tell me that I was live. So now I'm fumbling around trying to figure out how to get things together, and I'm live, but I can't see it. I don't know that I'm live. And so then I erase that. I just remembered I did something wrong there. And all this is going on, and I'm like, yesterday we talked about, is it an omen? Is it an omen? And like, yes, it is. When things go bad, that should tell you something's up. So I got to do one thing. I mean, right now my mouse is like freezing. This is not a good situation at all. Let me go check something just a minute. Oh man. So if you saw my PJs, I apologize, but that's been the day today. That's been the day. So I'm a little disheveled. So anyway, I go and now the stream is running, but I can't see it. And so then I was like, why won't this work? And so I shut everything down again. And then I couldn't set the show in my software. I had to go back to YouTube and I set it, and I said, well, I'll set it for 920. Surely things will be better by then. Well, then I went back online, put everything together, and I just kept, and then I had a call, another phone call, and I was like, so I made it to 925. I apologize. Gosh, there's nobody here. I pretty much scared everyone away on the Realtystream, but I mean, I really wish that, you know how you prepare for things? Like if things go bad, you're supposed to do this, this, and this. Well, how do you do it if you didn't see it coming? I mean, how else was I going to fix this? What should I have done? I don't know. It was a mess. Absolutely a mess. Like I'm just trying to kind of calm down and not be so upset about it, because it was bad. Okay. Where would you like to go from here? Oh, well, let's go over a listing appointment. I mean, while we're here. So I got a call. Hey, I'm thinking about listing my house. So what am I going to do? How am I going to botch this up? I'm going to go over there. I'm going to look at the house. And then I'm going to, I'm going to give the seller the best answers I can. I know they already have another agent. So I think I'm just supposed to do the opposite of what the other agent does. Like, that's kind of who I am. I'm kind of a contrarian. And what I always find interesting is like buyer or sellers in this case, like, what answer do you want to hear? I list my house today or next week, whenever you'd like. But that's true in any market. I think it's best to list it now. Do I need to do anything with the house? Well, I mean, I wouldn't right now. That doesn't mean that down the road I would do something different. I mean, it's just, how much would you list the house for? Well, I mean, what are you going to do? It's not, I wish it were as simple as like, yes, no. And then like, do you even want the listing? Do I want the listing? I don't even know. I haven't seen the house. I was going to do something. I was going to text a colleague and get some data, but you know what? Not today. Not today. Sorry to be doing that with my eyes. I'm just blown away by how bad things have gone. And I'm sitting here, I think it's called like ruminating. It shook me. And so now I'm just sitting here like, I'm distracted, and I'm like, how could that have gone so poorly? Oh well, let's get into articles, let's get into other stuff, and let's see how we can do here. I mean, that's why you're here. And if, by the way, if you're watching this a year from now, maybe by then I'll have gotten a different computer. Or maybe by then I'll never have this happen again, because this was impressively bad. Like my heart, like this is my heart, because it's opposite on the camera. It's It's a little. That hurt. Breathe, right? Breathe. Okay. So, first article today is not an article. Of course it's wrong. I wanted to look at the interest rates. Interest rates tell us a lot about what we're going to be doing in the market, especially like how they've risen so quickly. So here it is on Deer. If you ever want to know the interest rate at any moment, you just go over to Deer Realty, STL.com, and it's down at the bottom. This is my website, and I kind of like it, but oh man, this is just, everything is just a mess. Everything is just a mess. Okay. So, gosh, I don't even know. Okay. So here we are. Okay. You see me, I see you. All right, here we go. So the mortgages moved below 5%. Yesterday was 5.12%. Now we're down to 4.99%. If we could get in like 4.25%, I would love that. That would put your likely mortgage at a brokerage at around 4.5. It's not like we should be surprised that rates should go up. If the Fed continues to quote unquote tighten, which means they increase their borrowing rate, we could have significant chilling in the marketplace. But, we're in a transitionary period right now. We hear that they're going to do these things. We see inflation, and the Fed says they're going to tamp down inflation by raising rates. And it's like, okay, but what if, I don't know, there's so much out there that could screw things up. So I would say, quite frankly, we're in a transitionary phase. 4.99% today. See what you can do with that later. Moving on. You guys know that I'm fascinated by Elon Musk. His ability to steal headlines is impressive. I don't know anybody else that's better at it. One of the more awesome things is Jeff Bezos, the second richest man in the world, had his newspaper criticize Elon Musk about defending free speech, when the Washington Post is literally at least, close to the furthest left publication in the country. I mean, at least a major publication. And so he's gonna lecture Elon Musk. His paper is about buying Twitter and free speech. It's fascinating to watch these people. So I wanted to go over this article, and we'll just kind of see how it goes. It says Elon Musk offers to buy Twitter in a takeover attempt. Tesla's CEO Elon Musk is making his best and final offer to buy 100% of Twitter in an updated 13D file Thursday with the SEC. He's offering $54.20 per share in cash. Naturally, Musk had to sneak a $4.20 into the offer, which is funny. Musk wealth hovers around $260 billion. According to Bloomberg, Twitter's market valuation is around $37 billion. Musk's offer values Twitter at about $43 billion. Musk is offering to acquire all of the outstanding common stock of the issuer not owned by the reporting person for all cash consideration, valuing the common stock at $54.20 per share. The proposal was delivered in a letter to Twitter on April 13th. That was yesterday. Musk says Twitter must go private to undergo changes that need to be made. He said, I invested in Twitter as I believe in its potential to be the platform for free speech around the globe, and I believe free speech is a societal imperative for a functioning democracy, said Musk in a letter sent to Twitter chairman Brett Taylor. Now, it's kind of interesting. We always talk about that other fellow. I guess he's the CEO. I don't know his name anymore. He's not going to make it if Twitter goes private. That guy's gone. It says, Twitter has an extraordinary potential. I will unlock it. I will need to reconsider my position as a shareholder, Musk said if his offer is not accepted. It says, Twitter issued a press release confirming the order, saying the Twitter board of directors will carefully review the proposal to determine the course of action that it believes is in the best interest of the company and all Twitter stockholders. What's fascinating to me in this one is that it says to determine the course of action that it believes is in the best interest of the company and all Twitter stockholders. Notice how, like, the company is not the stockholders for them. It's always interesting. Like, you know, I do have an MBA, and it's not that gives me some sort of, you know, insight or anything like that anybody else can make. But, you know, if you're a company, like, your goal, I mean, the shareholders should be the number one group. You should be trying to provide value for shareholders. That's your ethics right there. And the fact that they put company in front of it, you know, that's how far we've gone. It's no longer about the stockholders. It's fascinating. The board is reportedly meeting at 10 a.m. to discuss the offer, although it is unclear whether a decision will be reached. Yes, it's very, you know, somebody writes a letter and they says, we're going to take over your company. And then you meet, like, you don't really have anything more than that. And you're going to meet to decide that, oh, that seems like a good idea. It says Twitter shares are up over 13% pre-market on the news. Tesla shares are down 1.5% on fears that Twitter's number one fan, who already leads Tesla, SpaceX, the Boring Company, and Neuralink. You know, I had forgotten. I was nervous about Boring Company. The Boring Company, I didn't know if that was still around. And Neuralink is kind of creepy. But it might become distracted by its new pet. Musk once told Twitter co-founder and ex-CEO Jack Dorsey that it's a bad idea to run two companies simultaneously. Now, if both of those businesses are public, that's one thing. But isn't Tesla the only public company out of Elon Musk's deal? I mean, I don't know. Maybe that was what he was talking about. The will he, won't he buy Twitter saga began in earnest when it became clear just 10 days ago that the world's richest man purchased a 9.2% stake in the company. Soon after, Twitter announced that Musk would be appointed to its board, only for that to fall through. Just a few days ago, here we go, prompting Twitter CEO Parag Agrawal, that guy's gone. He is gone. He is so gone if Twitter gets taken private. He needs to go look for someplace else. And he's only been there for, like, I don't know, as far as CEO, since Dorsey left. So it says there will be distractions ahead. Okay. It says a hostile takeover will certainly be distracting for everyone involved. Below is the full text of the letter sent by Musk to Twitter per the SEC filing. Now I think we should read it because, oh God, now I hit another button. It just doesn't end today. All right. Brett Taylor, chairman of the board. That's the chairman of the board. We went over that. It says, I invested in Twitter as I believe in its potential to be the platform for free speech around the globe. And I believe free speech is a societal imperative for a functioning democracy. However, since making my investment, I now realize the company will neither thrive nor serve this societal imperative in its current form. Twitter needs to be transformed as a private company. As a result, I'm offering to buy 100% of Twitter for $54.20 a share in cash, a 54% premium over the day before I began investing in Twitter, and a 38% premium over the day before my investment was publicly announced. My offer is my best and final offer, and if it is not accepted, I would need to reconsider my position as a shareholder. Twitter has extraordinary potential. I will unlock it, but I'm trying to figure out. As a result, I'm offering to buy 100% of Twitter for $54.20 a share in cash, a 54 premium over the day before I began investing in Twitter and a 38% premium over the day before my investment in Twitter my investment was publicly announced. So he'd been buying stock over a time. Now, my question to you is this: if his offer is rejected, if the board goes and looks for other people, there are other people with billions. There are other people out there with billions. If his offer is rejected by the board, and he says, well, then I'll sell my shares, and that tanks the stock, if he sells his shares and it tanks the stock, did the board and the CEO, did they work in the best interest of the shareholders? At least not in the short term. Can't say that. I don't know. Fascinating. All right. See, everything's off today. Like, because of that 25-minute error, snafu, everything's off. So I'm looking at the time and I'm like, man, we're not even close to where we need to be. Let's move on. You know, Dallas and Fort Worth are like together. Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. I get it. Okay. There's some cool houses in Dallas and there's some cool houses in Fort Worth. So I decided to split the two up. And so today we'll look at Fort Worth. Come along with me to look at some luxury property. Now, this house here, I think I already saw, but I don't know. But the reason why it's $7.9 million is because of its 200-acre lot. And so rather than go look at a house that's, you know, kind of like ours, let's go to look at houses that aren't like ours. So the next house is $6.9 million asking price, 6 beds, 6.5 baths, 11,000 square feet on a 1.5-acre lot. I thought that would be interesting. It's got an 11-car garage. It was built in 1910, and it's been on the market for 440 days. This house to me is not memorable. I mean, it's been on the market for a long time, and I don't remember looking at it. It was listed in 2021, and honestly, it was sold in 2020. It just keeps coming. It listed in 2021, and now it's been on the market. Since then, it was removed for a little while in March, but now it's back on the market. So the first picture is not of the front of the house. Always fascinating. The second picture is of the front of the house. I would have always done the first picture in the front. But, you know, this person here is selling a $6 million house, and I don't currently have a $6 million listing or a 7. So I'll let him do what he wants to. It's an interesting bar area. There's a Christmas tree. Now, if I were listing a $6 million house and I listed it and it took a long time for it to sell and there were seasonal effects in the home, I think I would remove those and get new pictures. That's what I'm saying. Now, you say, well, this guy has no faith that he's going to sell the house. It's been on the market for 440 days. I get that. So it's 6 and 1, half dozen the other. Where do you draw the line? You know, I draw the line in, hey, even if it's not selling, I've got to make an effort. And so I would definitely change out the pictures. I mean, or just, like see how it's got the Christmas, it's got the stockings. I mean, it's heavily Christmased, and it's gorgeous, but too much Christmas, not the right time. You know what's funny, and this is just, this is the kitchen, and we've seen kitchens in houses that are multi-million-dollar houses, and the kitchen isn't much bigger than my kitchen. It's kind of funny. It's kind of funny to me, the space taken up for a kitchen in some of the larger homes. You'd think they'd just be massive, right? Now, maybe the people have moved out. Maybe there's no furniture. But, I mean, that's a great wine cellar. I'm not trying to be mean, but like myself, I don't even drink wine. So having a huge wine cellar to me seems like a bad idea. Like I don't need it. And it's kind of weird. Do all these millionaires drink wine all the time? Oh, there's your it's like a little spot. I don't know what to call it. Words are escaping me today. There's a pool. There's some parts of the garage, I guess. And there's some classic cars. That's nice. That's nice. And then there's that. Okay. That's number one. Is anybody in the chat? I don't want to leave you out. I mean, if you found me today, you are a fan, because it's been bad. All right, let's look at the next house. 6.9 million. 5 bedrooms, 6.5 baths, 11,792 square feet on a 1.82 acre lot. 5-car garage, been on the market 190 days. I don't remember it either. Just listed in October of 2021. Property details. Incredible opportunity to purchase this traditional French-style custom home situated on 1.82 acres in southwest Fort Worth. Very hard to find views of TCU Stadium in downtown with complete privacy. I don't know that I want to look at a stadium as a view. So many custom extras, including pool and pool house constructed with limestone and imported slate roof. Highly customized movie theater. And that's the other thing. Can I just offer this? What isn't imported anymore? So the question is where is it imported from? And I guess the argument is if it's imported from China, that's not as great as if it's imported from Italy, right? Is that what we're going to do? I just want to know the game. I just want to know the rules. So many custom extras, including pool and pool house, constructed with limestone import. I'm sorry about that. Customized movie theater with 12 seats, Lutron and Crestron devices, electronic systems. I said a word, devices, that wasn't even in there. 5,000 square feet of floored attic space. It could easily be made into a living space for the third floor. Owner's suite on the first floor with his and hers baths. Elevator services all 3 floors. Full-size exercise room with sauna. 5-car garage. Every attention to detail with the highest quality custom materials. It's a must-see. The elevator goes to the 3rd floor, but it's not a living space right now. Okay. I kind of like to see what the property looks like. I'm okay with this. Although it looks to me like this is the backyard. But it's not. I'm wrong. I mean, today is just going great. I love the picture of the front door, for the first picture, but this. And then, oh my. Would you say this is garish? I like the high ceilings. I do. Why? I mean, as someone that lives in a house with normal size ceilings, it would be nice. I mean, there's just so much stuff here. It's hard for the eye to even, figure out what we're doing. You know, to me, it's kind of funny. Like, this person obviously made their money somehow. Maybe they were born with it. Who knows? But like, their house is kind of like terrible. And I say kind of terrible. Like, I believe that's a television from 1987. Now, it can't be because the house was built in 2004. But I mean, that's the view. Okay. That's a lot of balloons. There's your theater. And see, now this is why I thought it was the backyard, because of this thing. That's what I thought I saw. Going in the pool. And I love this space here. I mean, this is great. And then there's that. Okay. Only 6.9 million. What are your property taxes on something like that? $87,000 a year. Oh, yeah. No, I'm sorry. I don't even know. I thought it was that number there. This is the monthly payment. Your property tax is only $7,000. So what's 7 times 12? And you can do it faster than me, but you know what? I've had a day. So here we go. So there's your 86,000, like I thought. Right there. Okay. One more. I thought this was like, here's the thing. You look at this house, it's not that, you know, interesting. You look at this house, it's pretty interesting. But then this house here, like at a relative bargain at 4.9 million, looks massive. It's also on a bigger lot. 154 days on the market. And it's also close to water. Not right at water, but close. 6-car garage built in 2004. Property details. Custom built French estate situated on 2.25 lush acres in beautiful Mira Vista is a gated and guarded golf course community. This one-of-a-kind home built by Tom Strews, I don't know who that is, features indoor and outdoor putting greens, driving range, guest house with kitchen and full bath, fantastic gym with half bath. You don't normally see those two things put together. 2 heated saltwater pools, a spa, outdoor kitchen with built-in grill, green egg, smoker, and pizza oven, grand foyer with sweeping staircase, extensive wide plank wood flooring, and exquisite finishes. Magnificent kitchen with marble countertops, Viking appliances, dual wine fridges, and a Miele coffee bar. Large center island with seating, wet bar encrusted with Italian tiles, stunning artisan craftsmanship throughout. Okay. Here we go. Did we even, I mean, I'm 8 pictures in. Did we even get through the front door that had the beautiful foyer? That's what they said. Sorry about that. Yeah, dining room off to the right. This is just 11,000 square feet. I mean, like, not a complaint, but this is kind of what an open kitchen gets you in this space. It's like, there's wine fridges, I believe, or maybe regular, I don't know, but it doesn't give you much. Doesn't give you much. I mean, there's that space back there. Kind of strange. Maybe there's a walk-in pantry. I mean, where the picture is being taken is where that other space is. But then we don't see it. I'm always fascinated. Don't make fun of me. I'm always fascinated when you can take a picture of a mirror. Or maybe that's not a mirror. That's going through that space. Okay. Is this that part that we were seeing? That is your coffee bar? Is that a fountain inside? I kind of like it. I'm not gonna lie. Fountain inside is good. There's a theater room with a marlin. And that's not a marlin. But lots of fish. We're doing fish views today. There's another fish. I don't know, there's like a theme going on here. Every room has a dead fish in it. I don't know if it's fake or real. There's your little putting green. It said driving range. I don't know about that. This is your outdoor space, which is beautiful. Like the pool's over there. I mean, how do you complain about this? Okay. All right. Well, we're going to just go then. That was the 3. What did you think? I think Fort Worth has some nice houses. That's what I think. I did the eye thing again. I don't know. I'm not having a stroke. Don't worry. I'm okay. And then there's a gnat flying around, so I'm sure it'll get in and attack me. Tried to get it. I didn't. This article came out of Fortune magazine, and I thought we could go over it, and let's see what it says. It says, the housing market faces its biggest test yet. Written by someone named Lance Lambert. It says there has been no shortage of theories on how the ongoing housing boom is going to end. Oh my God. Just let me read the article. Reopening corporate offices were supposed to tamp down on remote worker buying in far-flung places. As stimulus aid got further in the rearview mirror, it was thought that home shoppers would pull back. And the wind down of government mortgage forbearance program last fall was projected to pile additional inventory into the market. My view on this is not even close to true. I didn't believe that at all. When you have mortgage interest rates in the 2s on a 30-year mortgage, you're going to get significant buying pressure. And then when you keep those rates low for a long period of time, it's going to cause problems, which it has. It says, so far, nothing has done much to slow down the housing market, but the red-hot housing market now faces its biggest test yet, soaring mortgage rates. And that is something that I agree is an issue. Over the past 12 weeks, mortgage rates have posted their largest jump since the 90s. As of March 24th, the average 30-year fixed mortgage rate stood at 4.42%, up from 3.11. We're at 4.99, likely to get a mortgage in the 5.2 range. And it isn't over yet. Industry insiders tell Fortune it's likely to get higher this week. Well, it did. When the pandemic struck 2 years ago, the Federal Reserve quickly put downward pressure on mortgage rates. By the summer of 2020, the average rate was below 3%. That's right. The enticement of record low mortgage rates encouraged more buyers to jump into the market. As home prices soared, those low rates also helped to alleviate some of the burden for home buyers. What? Yes, that's true. As home prices soared, so they kept going higher, those low rates also helped alleviate some of the burden for home buyers. That's true, except for the mania that occurred and is currently still in the market. You can't buy anything. It's terrible. But as mortgage rates rise, it will have the opposite effect. Higher rates will increase buyers' borrowing costs at a time when they've already stretched thin by record home price growth. Simply put, the swift move up in mortgage rates amounts to an economic shock. It says if rates rise around 5, you will price buyers out of the market. That's true, but what buyers? The higher rates could also discourage investor activity, which accounts for a large portion of home sales today. I disagree. Those companies that are buying houses left and right in cash don't care about the rate, because that just makes things cheap, essentially cheaper for them, because now they can buy houses that no one else can buy. And, that's not good. It's not good. You say, well, John, that doesn't make any sense. What I'm saying is they're borrowing money from Wall Street fat cats to try and affect the marketplace in a negative way, but a positive way for them. What I'm saying is the Joe homebuyer going against professional homebuyer doesn't stand a chance. So what I'm saying is they don't care. If interest rates go up, it's like, we'll buy some more houses. The homeowner couldn't. That's what I'm saying. The impact higher rates has on the housing market, Bachman says, was made very clear in 2018. Back then, the market lost some steam after mortgage rates jumped 1 percentage point. To see why spiking mortgage rates put downward pressure on a housing market, just look at buyers' monthly payments. If a borrower takes out a $400,000 mortgage at a 3.11 fixed rate, they'd owe a monthly payment of $1,710 over 30 years. At 4.42 rate, that payment climbs to $2,008. But if rates do climb to 5%, that mortgage payment becomes a whopping $2,147. That's a lot to stomach, especially considering they're shopping in a market where U.S. home prices are up 18% over the last year and 30 to 40% over the past 2 years. Of course, higher rates also mean some borrowers who must meet banks' strict debt-to-income ratios will lose their mortgage eligibility. Fewer buyers, in theory, should translate into fewer bidding wars. It's true. That's true. All of that is true. It should be that way. But it's not. I mean, I'm going out there every weekend and getting smacked. It's not fun. In the eyes of Logan, I don't know, lead analyst at HousingWire, we should root for rising mortgage rates to pull some steam out of what he considers a savagely unhealthy housing market. The current rate of home price growth isn't sustainable. Simple economics dictates it can't outpace income growth forever. Everyone should embrace higher rates to cool off this madness and hope inventory rises. If cooling does come, we'll first see it in the monthly inventory numbers. So far, that hasn't happened. In fact, inventory levels in February dropped once again. The lack of supply leaves home shoppers to choose between bidding well above asking price or remaining a renter. Even if rising mortgage rates do cool the market a bit, it doesn't mean prices will fall. In fact, forecast models still have home prices going higher this year. Between February 22nd, 2022 and February 2023, Zillow forecasts prices will rise 17.8%. Meanwhile, CoreLogic predicts year-over-year home price growth to slow to 3.8% by January 2023. But these are predictions, and I don't care. We don't know what's going to happen in the world. It says, how could home prices continue to tick up in the face of soaring mortgage rates? Demographics, as Fortune has previously reported, we're still amid the 5-year window between 2019 and 23, when every millennial born in the generation's 5 largest birth years between 89 and 93 will hit the all-important first-time home buying age of 30. The supply side of the housing market, which saw a decade of underbuilding followed by the Great Recession, simply can't match all that demand. In total, it says the nation is underbuilt by 4 million homes. And I feel like this is a important point that has not been mentioned anywhere I've read. Every millennial born in the generation's 5 largest birth years between 1989 and 1993 will hit the all-important first-time home buying age of 30. It's true. Tend to buy houses around the age of 30. I didn't realize that was the biggest years. I cringe when I hear people born in the 90s because I went to high school and graduated in 1995, and I just don't feel that old. Well, I feel that old, but I don't want to be this old. I thought that was an amazingly fair article. What did you think? There's so much crap in my email. Which is bad. Okay. Let's continue. This will be our last article today. I'm just going to go do other things. What is a conforming loan? I thought this was important. Now, when I'm representing sellers, I don't care what loan you bring to me. I don't care. You want to bring an FHA loan? You want to bring a VA loan? I don't care. You don't have to be a conventional loan. It doesn't bother me a bit. Some places in the country, they won't even take a FHA loan. I've been told by other lenders who service different parts of the country. So the best loan is supposed to be the conforming loan. Now, is that true? I don't know. I think it depends on the home buyer. Each buyer is different. Their needs are different. But in that other article, they talked about how monthly payments were like $2,000 a month. Do you believe that somebody will keep? Do you believe that someone will not modify their mortgage at least once during their 30-year period? See, that's my thing. If rates go up stupid high, somebody will just sit there and wait. They'll come down eventually. I mean, they have to. That's kind of how it goes. I don't know. And you say, well, you have no equity because the home prices are going to go down. You're not going to appraise. That's true too. I see what you're saying. Anyway, a conforming loan is one of the most popular types of mortgage. If you're shopping for a new home, it's good to get familiar with what it is and what it could mean for you as a borrower to get this type of mortgage. I mean, like, do I believe that I know so much? I've got so much knowledge that how do I put it? I have so much knowledge that I can't be bothered to hear someone else's definition of a conforming loan. No, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I think we just continue to reinforce things. That's one of the biggest problems that you'll run into when you're talking to first-time home buyers or sellers that have not sold a house in the last 30 years. It's like you're starting from scratch. Even the last 5 years, market was totally different 5 years ago than it is now. And so you have to get on a level with these folks, if that makes any sense. Like you have to kind of start somewhere. You have to have a foundation from which to build off of. And so talking about mortgages, talking about, the current market, things like this, I think that's a good thing. And so these kind of articles help bring me back down to a level where, we can start with a foundation. If that makes any sense. Hopefully it does. The basics, a conforming loan is a loan that Freddie Mac or Fannie Mae can purchase because it conforms to or meets their standards. These standards include limits on the amount that can be borrowed. Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac will buy conforming loans from lenders, packing them together and creating mortgage-backed securities. Mortgage-backed securities are then sold to investors. When a lender sells conforming loans, they can get capital to fund new mortgages. So like a lot of people get upset because their loan gets sold the minute that they make it. But that's totally normal. Some banks will keep their loans. Some banks will sell. Mortgage brokers are already telling you up front that that's what they're doing. They're finding a lender for you for the quote unquote the best rates, the best pricing. Anyway, people that like in St. Louis, people that had a mortgage with Boatman's Bank. Boatman's has been dead for what, 10, 15 years, maybe longer. Don't assume things are going to be the same 30 years from now. They're never the same. To be considered conforming and eligible for purchase by Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, they have to meet certain standards. These standards can make them easy for investors to buy and sell. A conforming loan is a conventional mortgage not backed by the federal government. This contrasts with loans from the FHA, VA, and USDA. So who's backing the loan? Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac are government entities to provide liquidity and stability to the mortgage markets in the U.S. Fannie Mae primarily buys mortgages from large banks, while Freddie Mac tends to work with smaller private banks and credit unions. You don't work directly with either. You don't know your loan is being sold to them until you receive an investor letter. But nothing changes on your end when that happens. You're still making payments to the same entity you were before. The standards for a conforming loan. The following are the current standards for a conforming loan. The loan limit is $647,000 for single-family homes in most markets, and the limit is $970,800 in higher cost areas. Your credit score has to be at least 620. The ideal debt-to-income ratio should be 36% or less. And then when applying for a conforming loan, lenders like to see at least 20% down for a purchase or 20% equity for refinances. There are instances where Fannie and Freddie will back a conventional loan with as little as 3% down. That's normally where we're at. The loan to value or LTV should be 80% or lower, ideally, but the LTV max can be anywhere from 95 to 97% in some cases if you're a first-time home buyer, or depend on whether it's an adjustable or fixed rate mortgage. As mentioned, you can qualify for a conforming loan with a down payment of less than 20%, but you have to pay PMI. So what happens is people think they have to put 20% down, and you don't. But you do have to pay PMI most of the time, not all the time. What is a non-conforming loan? A non-conforming loan can be a conventional mortgage beyond the loan limits or outside of underwriting guidelines from Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. Terms of non-conforming mortgages vary quite a bit between lenders. The mortgage rates are usually higher because they're riskier from the lender's perspective. A jumbo loan is a type of non-conforming loan used for properties that cost more than what borrowers could buy and still stay under the loan limits for conforming loans. The criteria to get a jumbo loan are more stringent. They're usually a down payment requirement, at least 20%, higher credit criteria, and more scrutiny of your income and a higher interest rate. Jumbo loan. A loan might be considered non-conforming if a borrower has a low credit score or is making down payments of less than 20%. Although, as mentioned, this doesn't always make a mortgage non-conforming. Then it says, what are the pros and cons of non-conforming loans? The pros of conforming loans from the perspective of a borrower include: if you make at least a down payment of 20%, you borrow less money and have more equity when you purchase the home. Your monthly fees can be lower than a mortgage where you put less money down. Well, that's true, though, on FHA. I mean, that's... With a down payment of at least 30%, you can avoid paying for PMI, so you can save a few $100s a month depending on your loan amount. That's right, depending on your loan amount. Borrowers who put 20% down and have good credit are likely to qualify for the best interest rates from the lender and the lowest overall monthly payments. The downsides of a conforming loan include that your DTI ratio has to meet the standards. The maximum DTI ratio is usually 36. That's debt to income. But maybe it can go as high as 50% if only you have other compensating factors like higher credit score. If you're in a high-priced market, especially the home you want could very easily go beyond the loan limits. So this is also something to think about. That's right. We go over asking price. We go over appraisal. So I don't know. What do you think? I've never figured out why people care if it's a conforming loan or not on the seller side. I mean, what do you care? As long as the buyer has good credit, as long as the buyer is intending to buy and they can buy, I don't care what mortgage type they use. I've seen people use like VA loans, and I'm not complaining, but the VA loans that they use aren't better than the conventional loans, and they still feel like they earn that benefit and want to use it. So I don't begrudge them for that. USDA loans, 0% down. That's pretty sweet. Rural areas. I don't know what you have to do to define it as a rural area, but I'm telling you, 0% down. Pretty slick. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think about anything? Let me ask you, should I have just quit? Should I have just quit this morning when things were going terribly? Should I have just said, screw it, I'm done for the day? My answer to that would be no, because, there's still greater hits ahead. And by that, I mean, what do I say? There's greater hits ahead. Who knows if I'm going to get, there's a house I got to go show. There's people that I'm talking to today. There's things I have to do. So who knows what's going to happen? All I know is I don't really have anything that I'm going to be able to use for the social media today, which is going to not be good. A little disappointed about that. But anyway, let me just do this. It's been a morning, okay? I'm going to get off camera now, and I'm going to go and try and kind of, I think we have a good foundation now, right now. I think today's okay to start. But that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get up and I'm going to go and I'm going to do a bunch of things, and hopefully the day's going to, this was the worst that happens, right? That everything crashes. So with that, I'm going to head out. Thank you for watching. I'll be on probably our nature of unemployment is going to be on tonight, probably 9 o'clock. If you want to check me out again, talking about employment issues in the United States. Always a fascinating topic. And you may say, John, that's kind of a dry. No, it's not. I'll tell you. The things that go on in America in the job market are just fascinating. Last night we had someone with Down syndrome fired by a major corporation. That's tough. That's not very nice. Just amazing stuff. So anyway, with that, I'm out. Thank you for watching. I'll see you tomorrow, 9 a.m. I believe it's Good Friday. I believe that Easter's this weekend. So anyway, thank you. I mean, is it? I'm hoping today's Thursday and I didn't miss a day. I did. It's Thursday. Thank you for watching. I'll talk to you later.